Ooh, the excitement of racing, the adrenaline-pumping action, the competition, drivers racing neck and neck. Now add the third dimension high above the ground, and woohoo! You've got the excitement of the Aerobatic Racing Challenge.
We as airshow pilots decided that, you know, it's just not good enough to go up and entertain people by having one airplane go up and flip around in the sky, because shoot, anybody, well, almost anybody can do that. So we got together and said, you know, what can we do to entertain people and bring a little competition to the airshow environment? And shoot, everybody loves a race, right? Sailboats, planes, cars, trains, whatever. Everyone likes to race. We came up with the idea of aerobatic racing. And it's a fairly simple idea. We have an aerobatic sequence. Both airplanes fly the same sequence side by side. They're fairly close together, performing the same maneuvers. What it does is it lets the pilots have a little choice in how high they go, how fast they go, how big the loop is. But whoever gets that last maneuver first and finishes, he wins the race. Not only do you have to pay attention to your own flying and do as we say in the business, which is aim at the ground and miss, but you got to pay attention to the other guy because you want to beat him.
I'm one of the executive directors for Aerobatic Racing, and it's actually called ARC Series Racing, which is the Aerobatic Racing Challenge Series. It's a racing element that folks haven't seen at air shows before. It's unique, different, and the margin of victory is very, very close, so it's really fun to watch.
It is fun to watch, but I want to know what this is like from the pilot's perspective.
This is unique from general aviation in a sense that what we do is fly outside of the envelope in a sense. Our type of flying is unique because we have very high performance, very light aircraft that are designed for this type of flying.
And what's under the hood powering this beast?
Develops about 350 horsepower. We need that for the vertical penetration. We need that for anything from our snap rolling maneuvers, etc., or spins, everything. Power is critical. Probably just as critical as the engine is the propeller. This propeller is it's actually a wood combination carbon fiber propeller. It's designed to take all of the torquing, the gyroscopic maneuvers, etc. We beat these props up a lot. It's got a big chord angle. It grabs a lot of air. We can adjust the angle of the blade from the cockpit. So propeller is what really makes the performance of the airplanes, not only the engine.
And what's their secret to knowing where they are during their crazy maneuvers?
And Daryl, what is this right here?
This is a sighting device. Again, it's made of carbon fiber, but it's basically a quick reference device. When we're doing aerobatics, to set our lines vertical, we look through the out of the cockpit through this device and sight this up if we're going vertical. This would be sighted up with the horizon.
And then this right here?
That, believe it or not, is an airspeed indicator.
Forward, reverse.
Exactly.
Forward, reverse.
We do maneuvers called torque rolls and tail slides. Basically, we're going vertical until the airplane cannot penetrate any more air and it starts coming backwards.
Okay.
The only way to know if we're coming backwards is to look out and watch this string. Eventually it comes up like this here and it'll float a little bit, and it comes up like this here.
And you know you're going
and then we know we're going backwards.
Pretty simple, but as long as gravity works, it will be right every time. Pilots warm up and show off for the crowd a bit, letting spectators pick their favorite competitors for the race.
The racing we're going to do, we're trying to do monoplane against biplane, because you'll see the difference in how they fly. A biplane can perform maneuvers at a lower airspeed, and a monoplane typically needs higher airspeeds for the same maneuvers, but monoplanes tend to roll faster while biplanes roll slower. So you got to know the advantages and disadvantages of your aircraft, and you got to know who you're flying against, so what kind of plane he's in, and you have to sort of modify your flying style on the fly, so to speak, to make sure you're as competitive as possible.
Ooh, the strategy of competition. On with the racing.
Okay, there we go. Smoke's on. They're diving in, they're going to roll.
Right away.
Oh yeah, it starts like the boom now. We're gonna get to air show center. They're gonna pull vertical. Oh, beautiful together. They're gonna do a half roll on the upline. Oh, look at that. Oh, Mike pulled it around quick. Brett's a little behind, okay? Next maneuver is an avalanche. It's a loop with a snap roll on top. See how much faster the monoplane is? Yeah, he's cooking him right now. Oh, Brett's ahead. Look at that. See, that's the advantage of the biplane right there. He's ahead. Notice the monoplane catching up. Okay, next maneuver is a
But how did that happen? How did he get ahead when it was...
Because he can loop faster.
G-forces of gravity, speed, and maneuverability. The weapons of battle in this arena. One variable gets you there faster, while one makes you more responsive and quicker completing the maneuvers. It's all about energy management. It looks exciting, maybe even crazy to some, but what does it feel like to fly like this?
It's nice to get from point A to B, but I like to do something with some passion in it. I want to feel it. This thing, it's all adrenaline. It's power up, shove that thing on and just hang on. That's the neat thing about aerobatics. You're not locked into like a roller coaster where you're on a fixed track and it has to go according to that sequence. You can make it whatever you want. Beautiful, smooth, and graceful, or you can make it hardcore rock and roll.
Wow, look at them go. You've heard rock and roll music. This must be what rock and roll feels like.
Right here, we're standing here, we're under the force of gravity. It's normal to us. They call that one force of gravity, 1G. But you get up there in the airplane and you pull it into some kind of curve, it's trying to throw you out the bottom of the airplane. That's 2, 3, 4. I hit 10 Gs. Then you can turn it upside down and push the airplane around something. Now it's trying to throw you out. So it's like somebody, your dad used to swing you by your heels out in the front yard. All that blood rushed to your head, you got to manage that.
Wow, the forces of 10 Gs suddenly being 10 times your own weight. Definitely difficult to manage against that force.
Through the years of practice, it's not as chaotic as it seems. It's very, very controlled, and you know where you are at all times and know when to come out. And it's more fun than you can imagine, believe me.
Pilot Pete Talarita thought it was time for me to get in the action, to feel that hardcore rock and roll for myself. Wow, whether you go for a flight of your own or watch from the ground, you've got to experience the Acrobatic Racing Challenge.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.